Okay, so like the topic actually came up in yesterday's segment. We were talking about strafing and movement during like close quarters gunfights, which is the topic of predictability. So when you are predictable, it becomes what is that? I totally pinged that building first. Get off of me! I'm sorry, that's extremely distracting. As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by my teammate looting the building that I originally pinged. So like when you become predictable, you become much easier to hit, and so like that's true like on like like when we're talking like hipfire gunfighting range, but it is also true at longer ranges when sort of the concept of being predictable came up, right? And so still holds in I guess like a larger sense when we're dealing like with major pieces of cover and stuff. And so in this context, like what you're really like sort of like looking for is basically just not reusing the same angle and peak over and over and over against an enemy. And so a super easy rule that you can follow that will help you, I guess, not do that as much is make it a rule in your head. I will never peek from the same angle twice. So it's like if I use a certain angle against an enemy, I will not show up again from that angle. Like I'll break line of sight and like I'll play like a different side of the cover, right? So if like there's like a large piece of cover between me and an enemy, then I'll play like the left side of the cover, and then I will move to the back of the cover and then play the right side. This is like borderline suicide, but hey, pubs. So if I had to take like a more extended engagement with that Octane, right? I'd already peeked him here from the right, so like potentially climbing over the top here, or swinging around, climbing and like shooting at him from this side, or climbing over the top and like peeking him like from behind like this piece of like little red cover here, right? Like any of those options like would have been totally valid. And so like under like like based on like that rule, right? Like those are the like adjustments that I would have made for myself. So the reason why, right, is like even if you've got like a super like so like if I was like playing this, like this is actually a decent like head glitch here, or maybe let's move to like to an actual head glitch so that you guys like see it. So like if I were fighting someone that was like like down in here somewhere, like out over there, or like over here somewhere, like I'll ping it for you guys, right? Like someone that's over there, like this head glitch here is like really strong, right? It conceals like the majority of my body, makes me very hard to hit. Most players would be pretty reluctant to play into this. However, if I continue to repeatedly peek from this angle, then like it's not really that hard for like when I step into cover to like cover my reload, or someone to pre-aim that little spot that I keep showing up at and to step out. And suddenly this really great position becomes a not so great position because they know that I'm going to be there and they're going to beat me to it. I also window on this side. So right, like so I'm not going to show up again from like that doorway over there. I'm going to instead show up from over here. I'll probably actually hold this corner real quick because nope, she didn't do it. I guess I'm like coming to regret it now. I like got stuck in one place for too long. I was actually pretty sure that she was going to just run around this corner into me, which is like kind of like making an assumption that she would do something that's like not very good. Like what you could like what you saw happen there. Probably like that team was like communicating or pinging like at least a little bit, and so because I like re-peeked that angle and it's in the same position, it's very likely that the Bangalore actually just pinged my position, and then Octane decided to like run up over the top on me, and suddenly that fight becomes a lot harder as Bangalore comes back from a different angle. I don't want to shoot on that guy because there's more people on the right. But he just saw me like show up on the right, so I'll keep the left, and I'll miss a lot of shots on him. They just saw me down there at the rock, and so now they're gonna see me like coming up at them here. I just climbed that angle, so I'll like climb from this side, or watch her drop down off her height for some reason. Like each time you saw like when I interacted like with the Wraith there, like it was from a different angle, so it makes it a lot harder for her to sort of dial in on like what I'm trying to do. It makes it very ambiguous like what I'm trying to do. But yeah, like the important thing is like breaking line of sight. So using the back of the cover to break the line of sight, I think, is the most important element there.
Rings next door, 45.
Because the longer the enemy can't see you for, like the longer you have them guessing. It can be tempting to like keep going back to the same
I'm down.
Gold because what was that? I mean, I guess it's pub, so people do whatever they want, but
30
still.
seconds left. I'm taking shots.
Why is it zooming in? See, I like peeked the angle after the bloodhound had seen me there. Did it again. Because I made that shot easier. But instead of like forcing them to have to like swing to a different angle. Yep, super simple, easy rule. Just never peek from the same angle twice. Always change the angle.